Oh. Woo, Donald the Duck is here. It's not Donald the Duck. It's Donald Duck.
Donald the Duck. It's the Duck.
The Duck is in the building.
Oh, shit.
Woo! We're off to a good one today.
Wow.
I think it's maybe because we both got a good night's sleep for the first time in probably a couple nights. So
at least a couple nights.
Picture might cover. It looks a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a little messed up. Sorry, everyone.
I don't know if mine's much better.
It's okay. No one even looks at that. Do you? No.
No. Welcome to the new place.
Yay!
How was your first night in the new house?
The first night in the new house was good. Tess texted me at about 7 p.m. and asked, "Have you sat down yet?" And my reply was no. Which is so cute because we were in the same boat.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but Madison and I are this way. We definitely got it from our moms. Your dad too. Mm-hmm. Everything on moving day needs to be done. Like it just needs to be done.
No box can be left undone. No box can be left out. Everything it's in its place unless you actually don't have the furniture piece that you need.
Or like the tools that you need to do X, Y, or Z.
Correct.
But
That's
in general, get it handled.
Yes, make it look like a home. So when you wake up the next morning, it's not like, oh my God, I have this extra long to-do list. We still have to-do list. But, I have all of these things I need to do. God, how stressful. It's like, no, we woke up on Sunday.
And it's weird. We were laughing about this too. Like waking up in a new place.
Yes,
is always jarring.
It was jarring.
Think about the first time you had a sleepover at a friend's house or like a new friend and you wake up in their bed and you're like, and then when it's your own and like at least you look around and you're like, okay, these are my things. This is a sense of familiarity. Yes. Yeah. But still odd, not in a bad way, just in
it's just in a different way. It's different. It has you kind of scanning everything else and just myself and how I am reacting in that moment. I was laughing with Tess because my dad was talking to me, I don't know, yesterday, and he was saying how great it's going to be to cook my first meal after I've done my whole day, yada yada. And then he goes, and then you wake up the next morning and you open your eyes and you go, where the fuck am I? And so I woke up and I opened my eyes and that was the first thing I thought of and I laughed. I was like, dude, that's real shit. But I was going to say that it also like forces you to be more present. Like I was thinking about this morning when I was talking to my cousin, Kelly, and I was making my matcha and I was holding. That? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was making my matcha and I was holding the Vitamix and I was like, okay, so like everything is different. Where do I plug this in? Like, where do I want to plug it in? Even I was noticing because I was using my silverware for the first time or this specific spoon. And I was noticing how different the feel was in my hand. Like it was every little thing. And then I thought about like how cool that actually is. Yeah. Like we rarely get that time where you like notice everything is different or you're like, wow, I have created this space and everything in it. That's really cool. Like that's cool. Take a moment. To appreciate.
Or like you notice the lighting so much more.
Yes, like even these.
Or the way like the floor felt on my feet. I'm like, this is a different floor.
Yeah. How cold it
Much
was.
colder.
Yeah.
Than what
chilly,
I'm used to.
A bit chilly. Yeah, it is. It's so interesting.
But I will say, leading up to this move, I could have been way more positive than I was. Because now that I'm in here in the new space, I'm like, this is fine. Yeah. This is gonna be great. It already is very good. And I think it's going to be great with like the little finishing touches. What is the problem? Why were you so riled up about it? But just learning to undo that pattern slowly. Yeah,
that's good. And at least you're observing it. I just feel like it is just the unknown is sometimes scary.
Yeah.
And that just is it. Like I feel like recently I've been trying to, if I feel a feeling that is not, that I don't like, that doesn't make me feel good, I just think it's okay. Like it's okay that you feel sad right now. That's fine. What are we going to do with it? Like decide right now and we're going to do it. Because sometimes I feel like I get mad at myself. I'm like, I mean, look at all this great stuff. Why do I feel mad? Like, why am I sad? That's so stupid. I'm like, actually, no, you're sad. That's fine. Great. Be sad. You're also happy and you're also grateful. Those are cool too. Okay. We're out of that mood now. Great.
Look at that.
Yeah. Or you need to cry for a sec. All right. Let's just cry it out. Feel better? Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like just like being more of like a friend to myself.
That's a nice way to put it.
Well, because it's like if you were doing that, I wouldn't be like, why the fuck are you sad? That's stupid. I'd be like, oh my God, what do we need to do? Do you want to go for a walk?
Yeah.
Like, okay, wait, do you need me to like make you food? I don't know. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Being a better friend to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today when I got gifted my candle, which is a good segue.
Okay, let's
So
hear
I've
about
been waiting to tell Tess the story. Is Tess came over to my house, which is actually crazy. Like even setting up all the podcast stuff and it being different. It's like, oh my God, we've been dreaming about this moment or trying to conceptualize it and now it's happening. Wow. Inception. Okay, so I was like, okay, read this card that's on my island and look at the candle. She's reading it. And it's from this man that I met at yoga, which I think I've mentioned on the podcast. His name is Steve. And we met in yoga because we like to be situated in the same area. And he's so kind. He's probably in his, I want to say like late 60s, maybe 70. I don't know. I have to ask. But we just vibe. Like
He's
we're
like,
from
that's
different.
so rude. I'm 45.
Dude, there's no way. That would be crazy. I'd be like, whoa, my bad, bro. Fuck. Yeah. So we just like, you know, when you just like have a connection with someone, you're from different walks of life, but there's just something. You're like, there's something like I recognize something in you, vice versa. So that's Steve in yoga. And we've talked, like we've gone through his dog dying recently. Like he's telling me about his wife, all this stuff. So we know each other and he's always complimenting me and not in like a weird way. Like I feel very safe with him. Usually, not usually, but a lot of times like older men feel threatening, you know, and you're kind of just like, you're looking at me in a way that I don't like. Yep. He's not like that. And so he always like gives me compliments of like where I am in life and he thinks I'm doing a good job, which is really cute. And today I usually see him after yoga on Sunday. And he wasn't at the studio. And I was like, oh, weird. I'll just see him on Tuesday. And so I'm walking out of the studio. I'm walking down the stairs and I hear, Madison. And I think I'm daydreaming. I'm like, did someone whisper my name? Like, it sounded like the wind said it. And I look down and I see Steve. And he's in like a hat and glasses, like normal clothes. And I was like, hey, like, what's up? And he's like, hey, do you have a minute? And I was like, yeah. And so we meet at the bottom of the stairs. And he's like, oh, my wife, Andrea, like she wants to meet you. She's over at the coffee shop. We have something for you. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I'm walking over and we're just like chatting and I'm like, I moved into my new place. He's like, that's awesome. This is perfect. Meet his wife. She hugs me. So cute. They're like fixing the umbrella so I can like be under the shade. And they're just like, yeah. Andrea's like, I've heard so much about you. And I was like, me too. Stop. Yeah, I was like, dude, me too. I'm so happy to finally meet you. I know. And then they're like, so we have something for you. And they take out like this a fucking bag with a bow on it. And I was like, okay, stop. Like, I feel like in moments like that, I feel like a kid. Like, because there's like these 70-year-olds and I'm 30 and I'm just like, oh my God, they got me a gift. And so I was like, wow, okay. And then they're like, so we have a story with it. We're walking through Encinitas and we see this really cute store and we're walking in. And then Steve had just mentioned that you're moving and we saw these candles and then we were talking about you and then we see this candle that says Encinitas and there was one left. There was just one. We're like, we have to get it for Madison. And she was like, and I smelled all the candles in there. This one was the best. I was like, of course it was. And then she's like, so we bought it for you and we have lemons from our tree. And I was like, oh my God, that is so you guys, sweet. So nice. Like I literally see this man like 2 times a week and we just like have normal chit chat. He is. And I know they don't have kids. They met later in life, like in their 40s and got married. Yeah. So I'm like, so sweet. I know.
That's really special that his wife
was so
welcoming towards you and so like that she was willing to like embrace you and your presence in his life. I feel like that's not a common
It's true. Sometimes response. They feel like
oh, you met this like young woman in yoga and you're her friend. You talk about her all the time. Yes. But clearly what they've got going on is so healthy and they're both.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know. I was like, dang, I cannot wait to tell.
That's so special.
Story. I know. It's so cute. I was like, wow, if you ever feel like you're a bad person or like, I don't feel like I'm a bad person, but like, it's just a confirmation that like, you're a good human. Like you just vibed purely off of like, there's no like, especially from like men. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, do they like me because they think I'm hot?
Transactional.
Like, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot. Like
people can be very transactional and it's just like, what is this? That's just like it sometimes
It's
what it
nature's
is.
way.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yes. And so to come or to like have this like fully in my reality that it's not transactional in any way. She's like, yeah, same philosophies on life. We vibe. Here's a gift. Like we were thinking about you, and they wrote a card. It was
The card is so cute.
I'm like, I haven't.
What does it say? Something about like
I should have read it. It was just basically talking about how this is a new beginning and
beginning.
like a really special time. And they're like, I think they also think I'm very young. I think they think I'm like
there's this like 17-year-old girl who goes to yoga, and she's like really impressive. Like she's just like making it happen. Like she's getting her own place by herself.
17. No, Andrea's like, I remember my first place, and it was so like pivotal in my development, and I just know it's gonna be so great for you. And I'm like, oh, guys,
yeah, heck yeah, that's so nice.
So that was really nice.
She's like, you just moved out of your mom and dad's house, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, they know everything.
Okay,
you guys got married and all that.
Yeah,
it's like they're kicking me out. It's super rude.
Yeah,
we're no longer friends. I can't even believe it.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah, which is funny because, dude, this podcast is like all about moving. This is a palate cleanser, as Tess is so kindly named, and we've had many of these, but it's just a chill. It's a Sunday for us. We're vibing. So it's like 70 out. Like we're getting a glimpse of what summer is going to be. We just wanted to chill in the new place and have a chat. And the night, so we moved out on a Saturday, which was 2/22, by the way. Did you know that? February 22nd, 2/22. And when I was coming to this house that morning, I kept seeing 2/22 everywhere.
Really?
Not even kidding. I saw 3 license plates on my way, and that's like a 10-mile drive.
Huh.
I know. I was like, wow. Anyway, Friday night before the move out, Phil was like, where am I taking my girls to dinner? And so we had a family date night. So cute. I feel like I had to mention that because that's like so special.
Yeah, he's also just such a gem. Any chance you get to hype him up, I'm like, let's take it.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. So then we went to dinner, got dessert, which is like, we go to this bougie market, and Phil is obsessed with tiramisu right now. So we had to obviously get that. We had a whole night, watch Below Deck. It was like great, commemorating the day. We all have a song now that reminds us of each other. We played it like all day long. Really cute. And I feel like cherishing the moment and like ending on such a high note was like a very good thing that we did that.
Yeah.
Like it's just like cheers to endings, cheers to new beginnings for all of us.
Yeah.
And Tess was emotional. That's what I was going to say this.
Having the most emotional day.
Yeah. And Phil was like, this is my whole point of telling the story.
Great.
Is that Phil was just like, you're going to see her tomorrow. Like, we're going to move tomorrow. You're going to see her, and you're probably going to see her every single day. And I was like, yeah, you're going to see me Sunday, Monday for sure, Tuesday for sure, Wednesday on, like, no, because we'll be in separate places because we're traveling. But absolutely. Like, if anything, this just makes the bond stronger.
Yeah, I know.
It really does.
But I was emotional because, dude, why am I feeling it right now? I need help.
Actually, no, you don't. That night, like, we were watching Below Deck, and Tess was like emotional or crying. Emotional. I'm always emotional, but I'm not crying. She was crying on the couch. And then I was just like, wow, I'm chilling. Like, I'm holding it together. And then I get in my room and I'm in a quiet space and I start journaling. It's just running down my face. I go to bed at like midnight and I'm like, woo, I needed this one. I needed to cry.
I did not want to cry today, nor do I need, like, okay, I'm over this.
You obviously need to cry a little bit.
I know.
This couch also provides such great posture.
I'm mad. Because I feel like my eyes water on every fucking podcast episode, and it takes me a minute to like get the redness out of my nose.
No, but
to get
every time
then I wipe my tear on my fucking pants, and I look like I'm gross. Like that's a gross thing to do. Is
where
like,
else?
Exactly. I'm not gonna wipe it on your couch.
No, definitely not.
Anyways, I was emotional because I've lived with Madison for years now. Madison became, as I talked about at the end of last episode, if you listen all the way through, became like my sense of home. Like that was my person. I lived many lives with her, like in those few years that it was just the two of us from place to place and like experiencing
crazy transitions.
Yeah, just
together.
Like so much of life happened, just the two of us. And so I know that I will see you every single day. I know you live 10 minutes away
6
from
miles.
Me. That's not a big deal. That's amazing. You can run to my house.
I know.
But it's different than going to bed with someone that I'm like, I will see you literally when I open my eyes and open my door.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it's different. It just made me sad because I don't feel this too much, but like there's a part of me that is sad because it feels like it was like because of me. Like if I hadn't gotten married and like started that whole journey, then we'd still be living together. And like I know no one's holding grudges here or anything like that, but like there is a little sense of guilt of like, oh, I'm the one creating the change.
Like creating the rift and yes, or the divide.
Like causing, not even that there's a divide, but like causing the stress of needing to find a place and having to move and all this. Like there was an ounce of me that was like,
yeah, I could understand that, but it's all for the better. So in a way, it was you're the catalyst of so many positive changes.
Yes, and I can't wait to see the rest of them that unfold.
Yeah, because I just really, exactly. So
now my nose is running from the crying. See?
It's all happening.
We're only going to talk about like funny things or stupid things. Like we're not going to talk about serious shit anymore because I'm tired of crying on the podcast.
Right. It just needs to be let out of you, apparently.
Guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, leading up to the move, I feel like I was not emotional. I was just like very
there's also
business about it. Like, what do we need to order? How does it go? What are you touring? What's the lease like? I wasn't like really thinking about how it was going to feel.
Yeah.
And then the last day it hit me, like I was sobbing, trying to eat my breakfast. And Philip, like, he's like looking at me and he's like, you know, when someone looks at you when you're crying and it makes it worse? It
makes it way worse. And they're like, are you crying? I'm like, now I am.
Yeah. And he kept like acknowledging that I was not doing okay. And he like was having a hard time leaving for work, which emotional maturity 101. But he like kept looking at me and then going like this on my back. And I was like, you need to go to work. And he's like, go hug Madison. I'm like, that's going to make it worse.
Yeah, he said,
everyone needs to leave me alone.
Him, but I didn't know what it was referring to. I couldn't see you guys. I didn't know you were having a moment. But I could hear him say, go hug your girl. And I'm like, what is he? What? Who's he talking to? Like, what's going on? I'm just like journaling. I'm like, what's happening? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
No. I was like, oh, okay.
It's fine now. Everyone's good. I'm done crying. We're all very happy.
Yeah.
And I mean that. Like, it's all good.
Yes. Like, we got so lucky with the ease of the move day and just our spaces in general. And we're so lucky to have all the things that we have to make it feel like a home. And then I'll go back to what I said in the last episode, that we are our home.
Yeah.
And Phil's your home.
Yeah.
And so that's comforting too. And we'll see you every day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Are you looking at how fucked my nails are? Do you see that though? But
I'm not
look
even
at
gonna
that.
Look. That's fucked. That's so
Thank
bad.
You.
Whoa, it looks like a design.
I know. It's so ugly. I was telling her I painted my nails this morning, you know, fresh coat, Sunday morning, going to yoga, you know the vibe. And then the teacher
know the vibe.
Always,
you do.
You know the vibe. Everyone listening knows the vibe. So she was saying something to do, like put your hands underneath the mat and like pull it apart so you could feel, you know, the engagement in your shoulders or something a little bit different.
Was that nice?
It was very nice. And also she was referencing like this pad here. And that's what we should feel mostly when we're doing downward dog. So I was like, obviously I want to experience that. So I do it. And then I'm like, right when I did it, I was like, I just fucked my nails. So sad. I had to recover from it. I was like, but it's
Madison
okay.
takes a lot of pride in her nails.
I really do.
Don't know.
I paint them myself, and I do all of the.
And it happens like every other day. She paints them. At least it smells like in the apartment. I'd be like, God.
Like,
I'd open the door. I'd get home from work, and it'd smell like a nail salon. I'm like, Jesus, Madison.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. You won't have to smell it anymore.
Anyways, should we move in to
what are we actually talking about? Well, honestly, a lot of my things were about the move, kind of, but not really.
Oh my God, I have some serious thought-provoking questions.
Thank God you do have that, because mine are not great. I like originally pitched a Q&A and I don't have anything, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I already asked one of them. I've got one. Okay. Any upcoming plans you're looking forward to?
Any upcoming plans I'm looking forward to? It's because you know the answer to this? Well, okay, so we have like we have just hiking excursions planned. Oh, okay. So me and my dad
I wasn't
hikers.
even thinking about this.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
What other plans do I have? Okay.
Continue.
Okay. So me and my dad are hikers. Awesome. It's a thing we have together. We're planning to do Half Dome again. Hopefully we get the permits. They open in March to apply, so that's sick. And then we're going to hike Kilimanjaro in January 2026, which is like less than a year, and that's crazy. It's like a hiking excursion for over a week, and you're camping in the mountains, go up to 19,000 feet. Crazy shit. It's gonna be sick, obviously in Tanzania in Africa, and that's cool, and I look forward to that.
That's gonna be insane.
I know, and to do it with my dad is really special, so I feel grateful for that. I've wanted to do that since I was like 19.
Did you know someone who did it and then you were that?
When I was working for Brandy, and it was her 18th birthday or something, and she told me that she went on this trip with her parents for 10 days and hiked Kilimanjaro, and I was like, hold on, this wasn't even in my peripheral. I had no idea that was even a thing. Let me look it up. And then here we are.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So tight. Manifesting works. Does, dude. What other plans?
Well, I think you're supposed to do a half marathon.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we're doing that, but I definitely, if we're not doing one, me and my cousin Kelly, obviously, in Utah in April, then I'll just have to plan another one. Yeah. So I definitely want to do at least one this year.
Yep.
That would be sick. And I want to crush it.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Okay. What about you? Are we answering each other's?
Oh, sure. I'm looking forward to going to Denmark. We're actually, Philip and I are traveling for a month over the summer.
That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. I think the longest I've ever gone on a trip for is like 3 weeks. So a month should feel pretty exciting.
A month is gonna be great.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could go for longer.
Yeah.
But here we are. Mm-hmm. So Philip's from Denmark, and I'm excited to go to his home and like see him in his environment. He lived there for 18 years. So I think that that's going to be pretty special to see him, like where he comes from, and then also with his friends in his place. Like,
yes,
his friends came out to us this past year for the wedding, and that was really awesome. So I'm excited to see them again, and then be again like in their world, because I feel like Denmark feels like such a different world to me right now. Maybe it won't feel like that when I get there.
Yeah.
But Europe just kind of has a different feel to me.
It definitely is.
Like, I'm just like, this is very different.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yes.
So very excited for that. Traveling around with just him will be pretty cool. So that'll be like a honeymoon version of a vacation.
Yes.
Because we didn't go on a honeymoon because everyone was visiting. Not that you need to go on a honeymoon, but
it's just celebrating the marriage, you know.
Yeah.
It's just another celebration.
I think our thing is that we know we want to introduce a kid into the world at some point in the near future. And this trip feels like it needs to happen before that can happen.
Yeah.
Like, we need to go travel and have fun and relax and like see the world and just be us two before we bring.
It's going to be actually crazy. I agree with you. Yes. And then, a few observations that I was just making is, of course, you guys would have another honeymoon where you're with a bunch of people. Not in a bad way, but it's like you guys are not the type, I don't think, typically to just go to Tahiti with just you two, and that's it. It's like,
first
no,
of all,
you're very like.
I would.
I'm not
love
saying you
that.
wouldn't like that, but it's just so
Phillip.
reminiscent of your guys'
Yes.
bond and your and your unit or whatever. You know, like it just.
It's very like community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go to Tahiti. No, Philip cannot be bothered to go sit on a beach. He's like way too active of a human being to relax in the sand. Like, he has to be doing something. So that won't work for us. So,
right.
But we are planning on potentially splitting from Denmark for a little bit to go travel, just the two of us. And he wants to take me to the Dolomites in Italy, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
I like, in my head, I always dream of like going somewhere warm and coastal, but we live somewhere warm and coastal. So do I need to do that on this trip?
No, you don't need to do it on this trip, but on others for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so I was just thinking, like, do we go south for a bit and try to hit like the west coast of Spain, or you know, like what are we gonna do?
So sexy.
Or are we gonna keep it northern?
I guess you'll just have to. I mean, when do you need to decide this?
Kind of soon, because
okay, I was like,
yeah.
Okay, well, I guess
don't have to decide it today.
With,
That's
like,
good news.
Your gut feeling.
Yeah.
So, also, is your I'm so sorry that this is like like not even relevant to the podcast, but is your ice maker working?
I have no idea.
I have to look up a YouTube video on my freezer because I think like I'm really an intelligent person, but sometimes I just don't know. I've tried all the buttons. We've tried it all.
No, I had to YouTube today how to empty my new vacuum. I could not figure it out. I lifted it. It came halfway up. I thought, but why isn't this shit coming out? No, you just have to yank it even harder. You feel like you're breaking it.
Oh, see, that's the problem. So side tangent is on our move day, my key fob to my car just completely stopped working. Yes, my car did alert me that I needed new batteries. I bought new batteries within 3 days of it alerting me. I did the adult thing. I did it. And we're trying to put the battery in. Didn't work for some reason. We try another one. It's too big for the hole. We had to shove it in, a whole thing. But I was laughing with Tess because it actually worked out perfectly that had happened, because I was going to drive my own car, go to my own place. Tess was going to be at her place with our friends unpacking. I was going to get a head start. And then the universe was like, you know what? You guys actually need to be together the entire day. So your key's not going to work to your car. You're not going to like that. I'm sorry. I know that's an inconvenience, but trust me, it's going to work out in the end. And it did.
It did.
It did work out. We needed to be together, and I needed to go into your place, help you with some stuff.
Yeah.
And just have hugs every 25 minutes, you know?
Just a little embrace.
Yeah. Just to be like, okay, we got home with us. It was perfect.
Yeah. I think it would have felt kind of bad, like in my body.
It would have felt like a big separation.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how I'm trying to word it. And it didn't. It wouldn't have felt
because that's just like not us. Like, I feel like our center of gravity in our friendship is connection. And that's always how it will be. Like, if we do end up raising children, like here, not in this house, but like in this community, that's just how it is going to be. It's like, oh yeah, we always live within 10 miles of each other. And it's like, wait, what are you doing right now? Can you come over? And it's like, yeah, I'm just like running errands, but I'll come over right after. Like, should we make dinner? Yeah, totally. Okay, I'll bring the kid, you know? Like, that just is the way.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If that could happen. I have another question for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going.
Okay. I mean, you should.
I'm going to steal it again. Biggest lesson you've learned this past year?
Oh my gosh. That's a good one.
The hard way or the easy way?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Biggest lesson you've learned this past year?
Biggest lesson I've learned this past year. So that's a really good question. And I have learned a plethora of lessons this last year. And
good
me and
for
Tess
you for paying attention.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Me and Tess were talking about this on our balcony on move day. And I was just talking about this last, I guess, lease cycle in that apartment and how I came home to myself in that time. And I think that is my biggest lesson, is to always return home to myself and like to find out what that actually means for me. And I think that I've done a pretty good job with figuring that out, and creating that safety within allows me to, I guess, just like go forth and make things happen in my life. And that is a really, like, that's a place of like deep confidence for me. And each time that something not so awesome has happened, guys, whatever, broken up with me, stopped dating me, something, or there's a death in my family, like, I always know to return home to myself, and it looks different each and every time. And the good part is that I know that I'll always make it there. Like, through whatever modality I choose, I will always make it there, and I'll feel safe again in self. And that is a good one.
That's like, a great one.
Yeah, also. But standing tall in self that's my biggest lesson.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, like, when I was writing these questions, because I anticipated you spinning it back on me and being like, what did you learn? I don't really know how to put it into words yet, but I'll try.
Okay.
I feel like it's something I've noticed about myself is that I can really make or break a situation. Like, how I perceive things is how they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, recognizing that my mind has a lot of power, I guess.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I anticipate it being really stressful, and then it is really stressful, versus I could anticipate it being really easy, and it will be pretty fucking easy. Or there's like, I'm realizing that I can do a lot more things than I thought I could. And I'm a very confident person. But I think when I feel the pressure of myself, I don't even want to say like the world, like it's honestly pressure that I put on myself. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of pressure. It's going to crumble. But then it never does.
Right.
And so for me, I think there's lessons there of like, you fucking got this. Like, why do you doubt yourself?
So it's maybe a self-trust thing. I wonder, because I just wonder where that comes from. Like, I wonder if there are past events that have made you feel like you need to put that pressure on yourself, and maybe it's not going to work out, but it works out every time. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Or, it works out.
I'm still like trying to figure out like what it really even is. But like that seems to be the biggest lesson is like, chill out. Don't make more work for yourself by stressing out. Stressing is only going to cause more illness within your body.
It's so true.
So just shh. And you're going to get it done because you fucking got this, because you always have it. So just do it.
Yeah. That's definitely like there's a little tie to mine also or what I've learned, like with the safety and self thing. Like it really.
You're good. Why are you freaking out?
Yeah.
Chill.
It's true. And if you're not good, you can make yourself good.
Yeah. Because again, it's like I have to choose it.
Yeah.
Like my perception of the situation or myself is up to me.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's a good one. Yeah. 30 has been quite a ride.
Transformational.
So it is. And then I ever wonder, am I not going to be in a phase of transformation? When does that stop? Do I even want it to stop?
Well, I was going to say, I don't think you ever want it to stop, because while you were talking earlier, my brain kind of went to, I hope that like everyone around me, like my parents and stuff, are still learning lessons. Like that is part of being human, is like, you don't know it all.
It's so true. And then I would even say, I was thinking about this today actually, which is crazy, is that age does not equal maturity.
No,
doesn't
not at all.
Because it is what you make it.
Yes.
A lot of people don't take lessons out of the things that they experience and turn it into something brighter, new. They just kind of lug it with them. And it's like, it's another thing. Shit happens. It's life.
Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And you know what? There's room for people who think like that too. And that's A-okay. And then there's room for us. We got a podcast. We got to talk this shit out. I'm proud of that.
Same.
Yeah. Good for us.
When you think about the future, what are you most excited about?
I had a question like this on. So Tessa's questions are my questions now.
We have one brain.
Yeah.
Why did that voice have to happen?
I don't know. You just felt like you had to release the voice, Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
What about the future are you most excited about?
That is a good one. What about the future am I most excited about? I feel like I've answered this before, and I think I've answered it in a really similar way. And I am looking forward to the unknown. Like, there's just so many possibilities that could happen. And I feel like they're going to be great. And I'm obviously not blind to the fact that there will also be hardships and things that I can learn from. But that also adds to the level of greatness. I'm like, I can't wait to experience more of life, because it's pretty fucking great. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it sucks.
Sometimes it does.
But then you get over it and you're like, damn, I am way better on the other side of that. Like, I really did need that thing to happen.
Yeah.
I did.
Often.
Yes. And I think that is a skill that I need to build when I'm in said hardship and I'm feeling pain and sadness or whatever it is. I need to remember that and know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like, there just always is. And I also am moving forward with that trust in self and like feeling like my home. So I'm like, all right, world, like, let's go. Like, I feel like this energy can attract amazing things. So I feel ready for that. Yeah. What about you? I'm sorry. I don't like have a specific, like,
No,
like,
I'm
excited to get married and have kids.
I don't want that to be your answer
at
all. I didn't. And I also didn't think that's where you were going to go with it. I have like a very general answer to this, because I was thinking about it this morning. And I was like, I'm just excited, as simple as it can be. Like just
We
more
like
good
simple.
days.
Yeah. My foot is just so asleep. Okay. More good days.
More good days. Like
Okay.
think about that. Even those like very simple, you wake up, it's a Saturday morning, you don't really have plans, you're just going to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to cook a good dinner. Like it's simple.
That's a sexy day, dude.
Like all you need is like sprinkles of those good days in there and you're fine.
So true. Yeah, I look forward to that
like that's
too.
life.
Yeah.
Is the compilation of all these things. And I'm of course looking forward to these big events, but like the big events are few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just like our day to day. And what am I really looking forward to? I'm looking forward to like those. It doesn't even have to be like a chill day. It's just like a day where you feel like, damn, life is good.
Yeah.
Like I'm having one today.
That's good.
I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, even looking for moments where it's like that and just like stopping and pausing and being like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like
As
that
much as you
answer.
can.
Yeah, you need it. Honestly, you do. Because what's the point?
Mhm.
And also, I think we were talking about this last podcast is not waiting for these big events to be like the meaning of your
catalyst
life.
of-
Yeah, to be like, oh, my life is good because I have this coming up. Not always the case.
No.
But I would say like does make life more fun to like sprinkle in little things like that.
Yeah, but okay, then there's also the flip side of the coin where you think, if I put so much pressure on this, let's talk about Kilimanjaro.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think about is Kilimanjaro. Let's pretend.
Yeah.
I'm going to Kilimanjaro. That's what's happening.
Uh-huh.
All I can think about is that. That's going to be the best trip ever. And then when I get there, I put this crazy expectation that everything needs to be really great.
Uh-huh.
Because I've been thinking in my head that this is going to be the best thing ever. And that's all I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
That's
never
way
do
too
that.
much pressure.
Yeah. No, I just like put it in the back. I'm like, that'll be sick. And then it just goes in the back of my brain.
Right. And
Yeah.
not that you would ever do that, but I'm just saying that these big life events are amazing and you need them to
But
look
they have
forward
you
to.
missing out on the process.
Yes, but like you have to also enjoy here and now.
Mhm. It's true. Yeah. There's just so many themes that we can extract from everything. I'm like, damn, I could go a lot of places, but
We're going super
I will
philosophical
say,
today.
no.
Yes.
I am feeling that today. I'm feeling
Oh.
very chatty and philosophical today. I sent a voice message today to Kelly, 22 minutes long.
That's wrong.
22
That is wrong
minutes
behavior.
long.
Do you agree with me?
No. It's
No.
good behavior for me because,
Okay.
and I'll say this, obviously, like I'm blindsided by my own self maybe, but I journal every morning and I'm writing it in my journal, but sometimes I don't put that introspection into practice. So
Okay.
when I'm memming, I just put it out there and it actually like connects neurological pathways in my brain. I
Okay.
swear, where I'm like, oh my God, I just journaled about this concept and then this thing happened. That's what's going on. Sick.
Okay, that is cool when you put it in that perspective. However, from my perspective, I think, how am I going to recall? Like a lot of voice
That's what
messaging
we say
back and
though.
forth.
I'm like, you do not need to answer. Like sometimes I'll reply to her. Well, I'll reply and usually like touch on things she said, but sometimes Kelly will reply to me and it won't have to do with like half of what I said. Just
Okay.
as long as I know you're on the other end and you're like, oh,
Okay. Yeah, because even when I would get like a 6-minute one from someone, I'm like, fuck, what did you say at the beginning? And I'd be like, okay, yeah. So in regard to the first thing you said,
no, that's not our style.
That is like, I was thinking 22 minutes. How am I ever going to recall what you said at the beginning and address each point you've made?
Oh no, there's no pressure to do that whatsoever.
Got it.
Because it's mostly just like it's like what we do on the podcast. It's like we take life events and then we extract the lesson and then she hears the lesson. So it's like I'm getting her insights on things, she's getting mine, and it's just like, oh, I nod in the moment. I'm like, okay, good, I needed to hear that, and then we move on.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
22 minutes. Is that a record breaker for you?
I might be.
Okay.
22
Sounds
is
pretty
a
up there.
lot, dude.
What is something that you need to give attention to?
Something I need to give attention to.
Big or small?
This is really great because I was kind of journaling about this yesterday about how I want to bring more abundance in. For example, like, okay, so the concept that I was journaling on, I'm going to try to make this really short, but it's like, where is there abundance in my life where there doesn't need to be abundance in that realm?
Like you have, for example,
Too many clothes. You have too many clothes, but you want to own the raw optics sunglasses.
Yeah, you
and
do.
I complain that they're $300 or however much they are, but I have too many clothes. Like I need to switch where the abundance is in my bank account so I can buy the raw optics glasses versus in the clothing, you know? So I think that I'm focusing more so on an abundance mindset, which is so cliche to say. Less scarcity, more abundance, trust in what's written, what's to come. Okay. And then I was trying to like even touch on what I said, like what I was thinking about today when I was tanning outside in my yard, of like when I have these moments of like, I feel, I don't know if it's like I need more rest. I don't think that's it. I don't know. I don't think I have enough like thoughts about this concept yet of like when I'm feeling like sometimes I'll be doing something where I'm like resting or I'm tanning outside, for example, after moving this whole weekend. And then I think, all right, you need to go out and experience the world. Like you're missing out on something. Go out there. Like you're not getting after it. Come on. That I want to kind of like dive into a little bit. Cause I'm like, what do I think I'm missing out on? Cause I think that I'm in the mode all the time of I want to choose my life. Like I want to make my life happen versus like waiting for it to happen. And so when I'm doing things where it seems like I'm waiting for life to happen to me, waiting for something to come to my doorstep, you know, like that, then I don't feel good about it. I'm like, we're not going to wait for things that, you know, does that make sense?
Of course it does. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you have to recognize that like you spending 30 minutes laying out in your yard to get some sunlight and just is so important, because then imagine you don't do things like that. You don't slow down and just chill by yourself for a second. You're always like out seeking the world and like fucking go, Madison, go, fast, engage, connect, network. It's like, holy shit. Okay, first of all, that energy is way too overwhelming for you as a person, but also the world. Like if you were just constantly like, I need to network, I need to plug in, and who am I going to meet today? How's this going to work?
Yeah.
Not that that's like, but think about it.
It's true.
That is like,
It's
not
too much.
Versus if you just show up as you because you've had time to reflect and connect and chill. Then when you go out into the world, you're actually yourself versus being like this little ball of energy that's like buzzing but like skidding out, you know? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's true.
Chill.
Yeah.
Everyone needs time. Like, I'm going to use this example.
Okay.
I used to be like, Philip, why are you on your phone? Like, get off your fucking phone. We're home. And like to a degree, yes. If you're home,
sometimes
get off your phone. But I also recognize that there is a level of like quiet time that you need to go inward. So if we're analyzing Philip's life, he gets up early as fuck, goes to work. He's at work until late at night. He comes home. Then when he gets home, it's like we have our routine.
Yeah.
Wake up, do that 5 days a week on the weekends. We're pretty much go, go, go. So if there's downtime on the weekend, I'm like, what are we doing? Let's get.
Yeah.
But that's his only time to just exist without at home and chilling without sleeping. Same rule applies for you.
Yeah.
You need to be like, you have to have these moments that are not scheduled in where you're like, I feel this way right now. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, that's so true. I think what like hits for me there is like the moments that aren't scheduled in.
Like you don't have to have it on your
like
fucking
I have
agenda.
To, like, be like active in some way. Yeah.
Like if you're just enjoying the sun and you think, God, I should really get up right now and like, I don't know, go to a coffee shop. But you're really liking this right now. And the coffee shop exists still. And you could do that later or tomorrow or fucking next week.
Yeah. And it's almost like contradicting what I'm saying because I do trust in what's to come. So if I'm choosing to tan at this moment by myself and not be out and about in the world, like whatever I want to happen will happen in the right time when I want to go to said coffee shop or when I want to be out and about. Yeah, that's true.
And maybe that stems from, I mean, there is some reality to it of well, no one's going to come find me if I am locked away in my
Right.
house. Like that is real.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you're doing something that is because like I'm just thinking about today in specific, like you just came down off of a crazy intense weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now is not the time
Yeah.
to go out into the world.
Uh-huh.
Now is the time to embrace your new space,
Right.
to just be quiet and still and just, because your cells could probably use it.
That's true.
When you
That's
have
true.
your energy stores back up, and I'm not even saying that you're tired,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's a certain level of capacity that you have, all of us have, where if you push beyond that, then you feel frantic.
It's so true because I was also thinking about this, like God, this podcast could get long. We have a lot to say today. I'm really proud of us, honestly. But I was thinking about this leading up to the actual move, having to find a place when there's like a bug.
Dude, I've found so many spiders.
Is it a bug or is it just like a little pebble?
It's on the carpet
It's on the carpet now, so it's done. It is a bug. Okay. Well, I'm going to hold it and it's dead. It's really small. It's like an ant. Okay. Anyway, no, we're not going to touch it.
Okay. Go on.
Anyway. I can't
That's weird. You're holding it. Throw it in the sink.
We're going to be done soon, probably. Okay. It's okay. So I'm crazy.
Dude.
But I was thinking that it was really good, probably. So this is an example that I could use is that leading up to the move, I could not have even comprehended having to date someone new at that time. I just could not. The level of energy that I had to use for everything, I would have felt like an absolute psychopath. It just could not happen. And so I'm like, now that I moved in, I'm like, all right, let's go out. Like, relax.
Dude, Madison was talking some crazy stuff. This summer's we've got some things coming up. She looks at Philip. She pitches things. I'm like, we're going to do what this summer?
I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm like, we're party girls now. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Let's try it on for size.
No, I'm just saying, like, it would be fun just to, like, fuck around and find out. You know? Like, just for a little bit.
Just try it a little bit.
Like, a little sprinkle of that. I don't know. I just, like, sometimes get in these moods where I'm like, it would be fun. Wait, you guys are down? Let's do it.
This happens. This does happen.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you listen this far, you're the real OG. Honestly, like, get it. You're going to have a good week. Anyone listening this far, something great's going to happen to you this week. Lightning's going to strike for you, and it's just going to be spectacular. And I'm speaking, like, about us, too.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Let's bring that energy into this week.
I'm about it.
Yeah.
All right, Madison, we got it.
All right.
Love you. Say goodbye to the bug, everybody.
Love you. See you. It's just in between my fingertips. Sorry.
That's gross.
Don't come into my house. Please. You have the whole outside. You have to come in. Honestly.
They need a nice place to rest.
Well, too bad.
Never mind. Bye, guys.